Bears were glancing at the beginning of a 4-game winning streak. The site of the NFC
bonus. And teams face the harsh reality of playoff elimination. No quarterback is melting defenses any better than Brett Favre. When it's cold, he's at his best. And with the playoffs under the tree, he might just gift wrap a postseason present for Green Bay. It's a final holiday gathering in Milwaukee as the Packers face the Falcons next. It's the end of a 61-year relationship between the city of Milwaukee and the Green Bay Packers. But the hopes for these two teams here today are still alive. Looking for the playoffs. Atlanta at the bottom of the picture, 6-8. Green Bay 7-7. Thinking NFC playoffs. And hello again, everybody. My name is Joe Buck, along with my partner, Tim Green. Now, Tim, the Green Bay Packers are coming together. The Atlanta Falcons seem to be falling apart. The Green Bay Packers are coming off a fantastic game last weekend against Chicago.
Yeah, and the key for the Packers is Brett Favre. He's the hottest quarterback in the NFL right now, and he's 9-1 in cold weather games. Also, the Packers are going to have a chance today to take advantage of something that's hurt them in recent weeks. A big wide receiver in Sterling Sharp faced up against a smaller cornerback in Darnell Walker.
Now, as hot as Brett Favre is now, Jeff George was maybe even hotter at the beginning of the season. What's gone on since then?
Well, the Falcons' offense, no question, has been erratic. However, today, they have the tactical advantage of the 4 wide receiver run and shoot against an injury-depleted Green Bay secondary. Now, the Packers' defense is going to try to counterpunch with a heavy pass rush. And as Mike Holmgren said, his defense has to remind the Atlanta Falcons this is a football game, not a basketball game. They've got to sting the receivers in the secondary, and they've got to put Jeff George on his back.
We'll try to remain upright here this afternoon, but we're ready for football. We battle in the cold. The Falcons and the Packers will return to County Stadium after this word from your local Fox station.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
There's your weather in the city of Milwaukee today. 33 degrees with the wind chill 15 degrees. Clear and cold, but I'll tell you what, mid-December in Milwaukee, it could be much worse. And these fans here in the city of Milwaukee getting their last chance at County Stadium or in the city limits of Milwaukee to get a look at the Green Bay Packers. Their final game, 61-year relationship, comes to a close here this afternoon. Green Bay ready to kick it away. Atlanta won the toss. They receive. And Chris Jackie getting ready to kick it for Green Bay. Clarence Verdun along with Eric Pegram back deep for Atlanta. This is Pegram back from just inside his 15. Looking to bounce outside, and he's forced out of bounds at the 30-yard line by Mike Pryor. Jeff George leads the run and shoot out onto the field, the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons in his first year in Atlanta. Former Colt. He's protected by an offensive line with Roman Fortin in the middle. Very good right tackle, Bob Whitfield, one of the best in the business. The running back, Craig Hayward. The wideouts, 4 of them. Rison, Mathis, Sanders, and Burt Emanuel, the rookie. And we'll get an early look at that Green Bay pass rush. This in motion, and the first play is a handoff to Hayward, a quick hitter over the right side. Not much. Don Davey was there for Green Bay along with George Kuntz. Up front, this will be the lineup you will see most of the day with Jones, Yurkovich, Reggie White, and Bryce Popp. The linebackers, Kuntz and Wayne Simmons. And the secondary, we'll see 5 back there, 6 as well with Harris, Evans, Teague, Butler, and Terrell Buckley. The secondary for Green Bay will be tested, to say the least, here this afternoon by Jeff George and the Falcons. George's first throw of the day, incomplete. Mathis, the intended receiver, and the Falcons are left with a 3rd and long.
Well, the Falcons today want to try to take advantage of bad matchups. That means wide receivers being covered by safeties in the secondary. Guys who normally, when they're in man-to-man coverage, are covering bigger, slower guys like tight ends or running backs.
Mathis was lined up on a linebacker that time. Good coverage, incomplete, and now a 3rd and 8. 6 defensive backs into the game for the Packers. Out of the shotgun. George can't find anyone. That is tipped and incomplete. George had plenty of time, but just great coverage downfield. Sean Jones got a hand on the throw, and there is a good stand defensively. The start of the game for the Packer defense.
Well, the Packers defense in recent weeks, when they were having problems, had problems because their defense couldn't get off the field. Last week they shut down the Bears. They had 3 and out. It's 3 and out for the start of this game, and that is going to be the difference in this ball game.
Alexander getting ready to punt it away for Atlanta. Poor punt into the wind. It takes a poor Atlanta bounce, and Green Bay will have outstanding field position outside their own 45-yard line after just a 22-yard punt by Harold Alexander. Brett Favre, as Tim told you, one of, if not the hottest quarterback in the National Football League. Look at the touchdowns. That's 3rd in the NFL. Interceptions are down this year, protected by this offensive front. Joe Sims a bit banged up at right tackle. Running backs Cobb and Bennett. The wide receivers Sharp and Brooks. And the tight end is Mark Chimura. Ed West, regular starter, is out. Favre hands to Cobb. A little cutback. And he gets it out to midfield. Pickup of 3 on the play and brought down by Mel Agee.
Well, the Packers had that big running game. They got it going last week against the Chicago Bears. They're going to come out today and try to run the ball against the Falcons, but if they can't, they're going to go to the pass game.
You get a look at the defensive front. Mel Agee getting a start in place of Pierce Holt. The linebackers Matthews, Tuggle, and Tippins. And the secondary, Johnson, Ross, and Case, with the other corner being Darnell Walker. An undersized cornerback. Favre to throw, and wide open is Sharp. First down inside the 40. And there's Sharp working on Darnell Walker.
Yeah, well, there wasn't much to the physical outmatchedness of Sharp being on Walker on that play. Sharp just gets himself wide open in the soft spot of the secondary. You'll see him here right between 2 defenders. So you see Walker giving him a cushion, getting some help underneath from Kevin Ross. They're going to have to get tighter on Sharp if they're going to shut him down.
Pickup of 14 on the play. And on first down, Bennett doesn't find much. Stopped by the heart of the Atlanta defense. It's been said many times, why not say it again? Brett Favre plays his best when he is up against it. And the Packers cannot afford another loss. They have to win their final 2 games to even stay alive in the playoff picture. Edgar Bennett in the backfield on second down. 2nd and 8. Favre to put it up. Now he'll run. Favre slides down after a pickup of only 2. And that'll leave it 3rd and long. That's one of the last slides we'll see here at County Stadium by a Packer. We'll see a lot by the Brewers coming up, but Green Bay, the Packers picking up and moving out of here after this one.
I'm sure the Packers coaches breathed a sigh of relief when Brett Favre did slide, because, you know, he is the kind of guy who's apt to lower his shoulder, put his head down, and barrel for 2 more yards. They don't want him to do that. They need Brett Favre going into the playoffs.
Sterling Sharp lines up in the backfield. Over the middle, it's Brooks, and a first down catch. Brought down at the 22 by Kevin Ross, but Favre is hot on the first possession.
Well, the last pass play, Favre had to scramble because Dolman put the heat on him. Favre had to come up underneath. The way to counter that pass rush and counter Chris Dolman and Chuck Smith on the outside is the quick pass. The three-step, deliver the ball, and it hurts that defensive secondary because it pulls them up.
Now it's Bennett in the backfield for Green Bay on first down. Bennett gets the handoff. And he is brought down after a pickup of 9. A 9-yard pickup and down close to the 10.
The Falcons the Packers came into this game thinking that the place they wanted to run the ball was to the right against Chuck Smith and against Mel Agee replacing Pierce Holt. But this is where the Packers want to run and want to run all day. They want to run towards Chris Dolman. They can seal him out. He likes to get upfield on the pass rush. They can work jumpy gathers, as you saw on that play, number 97, because he is more of a straight-ahead guy than a lateral run defender.
Second down and 1, and Bennett again. First down and inside the 10. Scott Case, one of the two safeties for Atlanta, had to bring him down, and Bennett with early success. He's a little ticked he didn't make the Pro Bowl.
Well, hey, he's the alternate fullback, and well-deserved after the way he runs the ball, he catches it, he's been a fine receiver and a fine blocker, and that's pure fullback there. That's pure drive, putting his head down, churning his legs.
First down and goal for Green Bay. Flats it sharp. Touchdown, Packers. Well, that was easy enough for Green Bay. 8 plays, 53 yards, 4.5 minutes. And they put the ball in the end zone with the extra point coming from Jackie. That's Sharp's 15th touchdown of the year. That's his career high, and he keeps on adding to it. And Jackie tacks on the extra point. The Packers touch the ball for the first time, and the drive concludes. Sterling Sharp in for 6. The city of Milwaukee. And season greetings to all of you checking us out here on Fox. Sterling Sharp, a couple of catches on the opening possession, including the touchdown catch. Jackie kicks it away, and this is Verdin from his 20. Good return by Clarence Verdin out across the 35, and another look at the touchdown to Sterling Sharp.
Well, we talked about Sharp's strength, and you see it here. DJ Johnson has a shot at him. He goes for the tackle. Sharp runs through him like a fullback. Well, we talked about tackling Sterling Sharp. Here's what's wrong. 2 things. DJ Johnson keeps his arms in instead of wrapping them around, and he doesn't get his head across the front of Sterling Sharp to stop his momentum and put him down before he can get into the end zone.
Green Bay leading 7-0. Second possession for Atlanta. George should throw. Over the middle, he guns it, and he finds Terrence Mathis. Terrence Mathis has had a fantastic season. We got a flag down on the far side of the field, and Jeff George is also down and hurt.
Yeah, whatever happens with this play, and even though it was a good completion, it's a win for the Green Bay Packers because Bryce Pop put the hit on Jeff George. And we talked about stinging him, and you don't want to knock him out of the game, but you want to let him know that you're there. And watch Pop coming in from the left-hand side. This is not a cheap shot. George delivers, Pop hits him, and puts him down. Now, you don't want to hurt the guy, injure him to knock him out of the game, but you want to remind him that he is going to have to deal with a pass rush all day long.
And George is really hurting. Checking out his left arm, and Bobby Hebert getting ready. He came in a game in Los Angeles and helped the Falcons beat the Rams earlier this year. But this is an offense that is predicated on the strength of Jeff George's throwing arm.
It is, and
penalties decline. First down.
Terrell Buckley guilty of a hold. It'll be a first down, but more importantly for Atlanta, they check the health of Jeff George.
Yeah, and the way he came down, Joe, makes you think that he got his arm caught up underneath him as he fell.
We'll give you another look. Jeff George now standing. Here's the hit that put him on his knees. Well, they were able to get Jeff George off the field, but he is in some pain. Checking out his left hand or his left wrist. Right now it's Bobby Hebert at quarterback. First down Atlanta. Inside Packer territory. Hayward. Nice yards. He got 6. Brought down by George Kuntz. Bobby Hebert, 22 out of 40 for the season, a touchdown, 4 interceptions. You played with this guy. He commands a lot of respect.
Yeah, players love him. They love him for his toughness. I mean, he's a good person, but they love Bobby Hebert in there because he's a leader. He's tough. And what he lacks in being sharp because of a lack of reps in practice, he'll make up for in determination.
Getting ready to cart George off the field as Hebert takes the snap and gets ready to throw. Rising. A first down catch, but a flag in the secondary. There's a flag down in the secondary back around the 38. And there goes Jeff George. Gary Lane is our referee, and he will give us the call. And this will likely be declined. It was good enough for a first down. The catch by Rising.
Illegal use of the hands to the face on the defense. Number 27. Penalties declined. First down.
Again, it's Terrell Buckley, his second penalty of the afternoon.
So while Buckley was over there having it out with Burt Emanuel, the Falcon rookie wide receiver. And a lot of times when you get a rookie out there, he may say something to an older guy who's had some problems, and the older guy wants to welcome him to the league. But you can't do it by putting your hands in their face.
Hayward, the lone setback. Hebert to throw, trying to set up a screen, and Hayward couldn't find it. Heavy rush, and by the time Hayward turned around, the ball had already hit him.
Yeah, and what the Packers defense is doing, Fritz Shurmur is pulling one out of his sleeve. He's got 3 defensive linemen on the line. He's got 3 linebackers stacked behind him, okay? And the Falcons don't know which ones are coming, which ones are dropping into coverage. This time, Fritz Shurmur sends them all. He sends all 6 guys, and there's not enough Falcon blockers to take care of them.
Second down and 10. Three steps and a throw, and he threw behind Ricky Sanders.
Once again, Fritz Shurmur is blitzing the Falcons. The reason? Bobby Hebert, he knows, does not have the timing that Jeff George has. He can't. He does not get the reps in practice. He hasn't been running this offense for 14 weeks. So the Packers, again, sending 6, making Hebert hurry his decision.
The word we get is for Jeff George an injury to the pinky finger on his left hand. The small finger on his left hand, that's what was injured. When we get further word, we'll pass it along. Third down and 10. Caught by Mathis and good for a first down. Covered by Mike Pryor, heavy coverage, but Mathis was good for 12 and a first down. What a season Terrence Mathis is having. Second in the NFL in receptions to Chris Carter.
Well, part of the Falcons' method for shutting down Reggie White, right there. 2 guys, Zandowski and Fortin. 2 big 300-pounders trying to make a Reggie sandwich. Takes more than 2 hands to handle that.
First down for Atlanta. Green Bay out in front, 7-0. Hebert wide open as Emmanuel makes a move and has a first down, and he's inside the 10. He was all alone.
Joe Buck, Fritz Shurmur has got to go back to putting the heat on Bobby Hebert. If he allows Bobby Hebert that extra second, that extra 2 seconds to think and find the open receiver, Bobby Hebert will do it, and he will move this offense down the field.
It's a lot like what you see with Dave Craig in Detroit, these veteran quarterbacks that are able to see the field, find their second, third, fourth options. Heck, Emmanuel, there was no one around him. First and goal. And it looked like the nose tackle, Don Davey, was a little anxious.
Yeah, Hebert gets a cheap one on the butcher.
Encroachment, defense. Number 99, prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Let me explain this butcher business. Now, you got two inside guys, Davey and Yurkovich, and they're like the small town guys, the butcher and the baker. Everybody needs them. They're a big part of the community, but they don't get a lot of thanks. All the butcher gets is some blood on his apron.
Still first and goal. From the 5-yard line, Hebert hands to Hayward. And that big body rumbles for 3. Don Davey there to bring him down. Boy, what a weapon to have an Ironhead Hayward down first and goal.
A great short yardage guy. Now look at Pop. He is the swing guy. You've got 3 linemen, and Pop is going to come out. He can fill here. He can fill there. Pop is really playing like a 4th lineman. You see it here? Now he comes right back to where he was. So that's the Packers' solution to shutting down Ironhead Hayward. Make them guess. Make them run the ball, and they have to try to guess and run it away from Pop.
Second down and goal. Hebert looking for help. It's batted in the air and it drops incomplete. Big pressure by Reggie White.
3rd and 2.
Well, you can keep him out only so long, but sooner or later, Reggie White is going to bust loose. And you see Hebert hesitates. He doesn't have time to go to his second receiver. Now, the Falcons keep Reggie White out, which is a tough thing to do. Hebert finds the second receiver and scores a touchdown. This is the difference. That's impact. Talk about impact player. That's impact on that last play.
This is the 10th play of the drive. 3rd and goal. Over the middle, incomplete. Mathis, the intended receiver, and a little more heat on Hebert.
Yeah, did you see what Fritz Shurmur did on that one, Joe? He sent him. He put the heat. He knows now that the way to beat Hebert is to get in his face and get the heat quick. Don't give him time. Watch the pressure. There comes Simmons. There comes a guy around the outside. All the linemen shooting upfield. Go man to man.
Johnson will attempt the kick.
That forces the Falcons into a field goal situation. Norm Johnson will try a 20-yarder. Trying to put Atlanta on the board. Johnson is perfect.
The kick by Johnson.
He's had a good year now. 20 out of 24 for the season. Andre Rison thought he was wide open on the previous play. He didn't get the ball, and the Falcons get only 3. Scott Tyner kicks it away for Atlanta after they put up 3. Corey Harris out across the 30, out across the 35-yard line. The first time the Packers won a championship on Wisconsin soil was right here in Milwaukee. The Pack shut out the New York Giants on December 10th, 1939 at State Fair Park. The first shutout in NFL championship history. They've played in 4 sites, the Packers have, here in Milwaukee. Orchard Field, then State Fair Park, Marquette Stadium for just a year, County Stadium, 1953 to today, and put a period after the word today. First down for Green Bay, just outside their own 35. set up a screen for one of the wide receivers, Anthony Morgan. It drops incomplete. How about a McDonald's game break and check in on the Bears game? Here's JB.
All right, Joe, the Rams are trying to play a part of spoilers against the Bears. Chandler dropping back, looking for Jesse Hester. Pass interference call on John Mangum. That takes the ball down to the 1, and it's an easy sneak for Chandler. Rams on top, 7-0. Let's take it back to Milwaukee. Joe Buck and Tim Green.
Thank you, James Brown. Here it's 2nd and 10. The Packers have it at their own 36. Cobb and Bennett shifting around in the backfield. Reggie Cobb. He picked up 3. Reggie Cobb and Edgar Bennett both had big days out of the backfield last weekend at home against Chicago.
Well, Holmgren is trying to stay with the run game because they had success on the last series. Now, they're 2nd and 10. You don't think the Packers are going to run. Now it's 3rd and long. You know that they're going to pass. The key to that last play was jumpy gathers. I said he gets upfield. You don't want to run away from him. You want to run at him.
3rd down and 7. Big rush from Smith, and Favre gets away. Now throws back to the middle and finds Morgan, and a 1st down.
Anthony Morgan.
Chuck Smith had him in his sights. Favre slipped away and ends up with a 1st down pass to Morgan.
Well, I asked Chuck Smith yesterday, I said, do you prepare any differently when you play against Brett Favre? He said no. Well, he should have prepared differently, because when you play Brett Favre and you're rushing on the outside, you've got to get deeper than you do most quarterbacks. He will spin and roll outside. He has the agility, he has the quickness, and then he'll hurt you downfield.
Smith, 6th in the National Football League with 11 sacks. Came up with a whiff on that play. Now 1st down, and Bennett tries out the left side. Brought down at the 37, a pickup of 4. Kevin Ross was there to make the stop.
Well, as this field gets slipperier and slipperier today, Joe, Edgar Bennett is going to have better footing than anybody. Here's why. Take a look at the length of these cleats. They're 3/4 inches long. They're the longest cleat you can wear on the football field. Look at that. Those things will dig in after other cleats are slipping and sliding around in the soup.
Footing good at the start, but it was, you got the feeling it would give as the day wears on. This is Bennett. Edgar and his 3/4 inch shoes pick up a 1st down over the right side. Those spikes help Bennett pick up a 1st down. Pickup of 7 yards. And that running game is still working for Green Bay. Bennett, 5 carries, 28 yards. Under 2 minutes to play in the 1st quarter with Green Bay out on top 7-3, and they're moving it again. 1st down. Over the middle. Sharp. Brought down with a 1st down, just shy of the 20 by Clay Matthews. He got 11.
When you're as big and strong as a receiver as Sterling Sharp is, 6'1", about 210 pounds, you don't mind sitting there in a zone between linebackers and mixing it up. They're sharp between Tuggle, Matthews, and for Sterling Sharp at 210 pounds, he can take the hits from those big linebackers, and it just doesn't faze him. Look at the size of his arms there. I mean, those are not the arms of a wide receiver.
On 1st down, Favre to put it up. Buys himself some time, and he throws it away out of the corner of the end zone. Brett Favre last year was under a little heat from the fans. He tried to force the ball in. This year it's been much different. If it's not there, he gets rid of it.
You talk about being under the heat. Guy McIntyre is under the heat today because he is going against Jumpy gathers. And see him here. He gets the clamp right around Jumpy's neck. Now, Jumpy doesn't like that. And Jumpy will make Guy McIntyre pay for it on the next play. I guarantee it. He's not a guy that you want to get too angry.
Sterling Sharp lines up in the backfield, and they hand it to him. Sterling Sterling Sharp running the ball out of the backfield, stretches, and he's brought down at the 15 after a pickup of 5.
Part of the Green Bay Packers strategy today was to put Sharp in the backfield. Now, every other time Sharp's been in the backfield, you see him here as a wide receiver, he's gone out on the pass play. So today, they run the short trap on the inside to try to slow down jumpy gathers. He is a penetrating guy. He's a push guy. You saw what he did to McIntyre earlier. They've got to slow him down some way, and that's the way. Trap him and run inside.
On third down, into the corner, Morgan, and a touchdown, Green Bay. Darnell Walker beaten on the play, and the Packers add to their lead.
Well, there's more than one big receiver for the Green Bay Packers. Anthony Morgan, 6'1", 195 pounds. And again, the Packers taking advantage of the thing that has hurt them most in these last few weeks. Big receiver against a small cornerback.
Sharp has a touchdown catch. Now it's Morgan, his 4th of the year. First of the day, and Jackie 2 for 2 with the extra points. And the Green Bay Packers add to their lead. Favre was under pressure. He just put it up, and Morgan was standing all alone. Bad news for the Atlanta Falcons. They're now down by 11 at 14-3. Worse news, Jeff George broke the little finger on his left hand. He will not return. So if the Falcons are to come back today, it will be behind Bobby Hebert. Anthony Morgan, his 4th touchdown catch of the year, makes it 14-3.
And look at those pipes right there. I mean, heck, look at those biceps. There's another receiver. And man, he looks like he's ready for a bodybuilding contest.
He's flexing right on cue for you.
You got a good shot at it. These receivers, Sharp and Morgan, are strong. They're big and they're strong.
Jackie will kick off to Verdane and
Chris Jackie ready to kick it away with Pegram and Verdane back deep for Atlanta. Verdane from outside his own 20. Little number 2 is dropped by Corey Harris. Brought down at the 27. 5 seconds remaining in the first quarter. What will it take, you ask, for Green Bay to get into the playoffs? First of all, they have to win their final 2 games, and they need the Bears, the Lions, the Eagles, or Minnesota to lose once. They like their chances if they win their final 2. They're here today against Atlanta, and then they're at Tampa Bay. The Atlanta Falcons must win their final 2 games as well, but they need the Eagles, Saints, and Giants all to each lose 1 time. That's as simple as we can put it. First down for Atlanta. Hebert at quarterback. Hebert's throw is caught. And now an official from the back comes flying in and says it was incomplete. They were about to mark the ball, but it's an incomplete pass and a 2nd down and 10 facing Atlanta. That is the end of the first quarter. June Jones pleads his case, but it's an incomplete pass. Our score, Green Bay 14, Atlanta 3. Number 2 coming up.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
Joe Buck and Tim Green with you. The final Green Bay Packer game at Milwaukee County Stadium. And the Packers have not disappointed, leading 14-3. Start of the second quarter. Atlanta with the ball. They're without their number 1 quarterback, Jeff George, out with a broken finger, the little finger on his left hand. Thanks for the memories, and there have been many for the Packers here in the city of Milwaukee. And a lot of the fans here will make the trek to Green Bay to watch the Pack from here on out. 2nd down and 10. Hebert under center with Hayward behind him. Hebert to the flats. Andre Rison pushed out of bounds. Doug Evans was there to force him out.
This is something that the Falcons have got to do more of, and that's get the ball to number 80, that man right there. He can make the difference. You talked about Reggie White being an impact player. He's an impact player on the offense. June Jones needs to call his number more.
Andre Rison started out the season 26 catches, 4 touchdowns in the first 2 games. Last 12 games, he's averaging 4 catches a game. So his production has dropped off. 3rd down and 4. Hebert finds Rison again. Good move, and he's forced out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Well, I said you got to call Rison's number, and that's exactly what June Jones did. Look at this. Doug Evans, one-on-one on Andre Rison. Almost no one can cover him one-on-one except his ex-teammate, Deion Sanders. Then, after the catch, that's why Rison is Rison. That makes him dangerous. 5 more yards after he catches the ball. You want to shut Andre Rison down? You put 2 men on him.
That was good for 12 yards and good for another 1,000-yard season. On 1st down, it's Sanders with a catch inside Green Bay territory, brought down by Corey Harris.
The Falcons, Joe, are going to the quick, short passing game. The reason being, the Packers have got 6 guys lined up in the running area. Some people call it the box, but I can't stand that term. Call it the running area. Tackle to tackle. The Packers have got 3 defensive linemen and 3 linebackers stacked right behind them. When there's 6 against the run, that means there's only 5 against the pass, covering 4 wide receivers, and they're going to throw the quick one.
2nd down and 3. The hard snap count and a handoff to Hayward. He's brought down right at the 1st down marker. Another Bears update, a McDonald's game break. Hollywood and JB.
All right, Joe, the Rams are not laying down against the Chicago Bears. Take a look at this play here. Chandler, 53 yards on target to Flipper Anderson. That set up a 3-yard field goal, and the Rams are leading the Bears 10-3 in the second. Back to Milwaukee, Joe and Tim.
Thank you, James Brown. The Rams coming off that loss to Tampa Bay, giving the Bears all they can handle in the first half in Chicago. Here it's Green Bay out in front, 14-3. On 1st down, Hayward picked up 3 over the left side. Don Davey there for the stop.
Well, part of the Packers' strategy against the run is to put the big guys, Reggie, Don Davey, on the inside and have them work head up. On Zandowski there, you see Reggie head up, drives him down the line, makes a tackle, and look who's underneath him. Don Davey, the butcher. The 2 heavy guys on the inside. They want to play run first today. When they play that 4-man front, the tackles will be looking for the run, going to the pass second.
2nd down and 7. Hayward. Craig Hayward with a 1st down carry. Brought down at the 33, and Hayward will move the chains. George Teague was there for the tackle.
Hayward takes the false step to the right to draw Davey, draw Reggie White, then cuts it back. When he gets into the secondary, that is where he is the most dangerous. That's like when the rodeo bull breaks down the fence and gets into the crowd. You don't want people in the crowd trying to take care of the bull. You want the rodeo people inside the ring.
6 carries, 25 yards for Ironhead. 1st down for Atlanta. Hebert trying to march him down the field, incomplete. And Rison will get the flag he's looking for. Doug Evans was on his back, and Rison was interfered with.
Boy, the Packers are giving Doug Evans a tough task today. Look, he's one-on-one with Rison again. Watch him here. Now, they had to go one-on-one because the Packers sent 6.
Pass interference, defense, number 33, first down.
That'll set up a first down at the Packer 21. And Bobby Hebert is indeed marching the Falcons right down the field.
Well, the reason on that play, it was successful. It wasn't a completion, but they drew the foul was because the Packers sent 6, but the Falcons picked him up and gave Hebert that extra half of a second.
First down for the Falcons. They just beat the play clock. Mathis with a catch. Wrestled down by Corey Harris. Hebert finding Mathis throughout this drive. He's gone after Rison. Both Mathis and Rison are over the 1,000-yard mark in receiving yards. First time that's ever happened for Atlanta.
Well, you see here on this play, Hebert changes the play. He changes it to the pass play because he sees that there are 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers defending the run, and if the play is a run and there's 6 guys in that run zone, Hebert checks it to a pass.
Second down and 6. Hayward lost the football, a flag on the play, and the Packers recover. Sean Jones falls on top, but a flag on the play. Hayward with the fumble. His 5th fumble of the year. The penalty against Atlanta. And Green Bay takes over. The 5th fumble of the season for Craig Ironhead Hayward. It was a good drive until Ironhead dropped the ball. Green Bay takes over. They lead 14-3.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By the Citizen Watch Company. Citizen is how the world tells time. And by Red Lobster, for the seafood lover in you.
After the Hayward fumble, Green Bay takes over. First down. And they hand to Bennett. Take you back to the fumble by Craig Hayward. It was caused by George Kuntz.
Yeah, George Kuntz does a great job of getting his hands in and stripping the ball. But I think when you got a guy like Hayward and he's got that round surface there on his stomach, he's got a round surface, and then you got the round surface of the ball, it's a lot tougher. He can't tuck that ball up underneath his ribs like a lot of guys. It's you understand, right?
I'm with you.
I'm serious.
5 fumbles this season for the Ironhead. That pass was tipped and it drops incomplete. Reggie Johnson, the intended receiver. Brett Favre with 2 touchdown passes here this afternoon. 6 out of 9 for 77 yards. And we've done Packer games in the past. He can go hot and cold. Well, he has started out hot. Very pleasant day in Milwaukee. He would not classify this as a bad weather game at all. 3rd down and 6. Sharp was wide open. He had the entire side of the field to himself, and he dropped it. That was a first down and much more if he hangs on. You don't see that very often.
Well, sometimes when your team jumps out to an 11-point lead early in the game and things start to look easy, guys start to relax a little too much. And that's what happened on that play. Sterling Sharp's feeling good, feeling confident. So is Favre. This guy's got to buckle down and tighten it up.
Hendrick back to punt it away for Green Bay with Clarence Verdun deep. From his 41. Wow. Run over by Mark Williams. Clarence Verdun is only 5'8", 162 pounds, and Mark Williams just made him disappear. Falcons take over. They trail by 11. It is very conceivable that each of the top 4 teams in the NFC Central could end up 9-7. If that is the case, Green Bay, with their strong divisional record at the moment of 5-2, would hold most of the tiebreakers. They can still win the division.
If the Packers win today, they've probably got the best advantage, because going into the last week, they play Tampa, Chicago plays the Patriots, Minnesota plays San Francisco, and Detroit plays Miami.
At Miami. On first down, Bryce Pop runs into Ironhead, a pickup of only 1.
When you talk about a name fitting the number, Bryce Pop's parents, I mean, it wasn't his parents' choice, but Pop was the perfect name for him, because that's what he did on that play. Did you hear that pop?
I did.
I mean, that
I heard that, you know what, I heard that pop.
Yeah, that was a pop. I guess when it travels this far, it's a pop.
Second down and 9. Bear airs it out. Rison is all alone. Out of bounds at the 25-yard line, and a breakdown in the coverage. Doug Evans left Rison all by himself.
Well, again, Evans, there's no way he should be one-on-one on Rison here. He's got to have help. There's got to be 2 guys on him. And the mix-up there is Evans thinks he's got to go inside, but he's got help inside. Evans has to stay outside. Use your safety to help you on the inside.
34-yard completion. And on first down, Hayward runs into Simmons. He pushes Simmons forward and picked up positive yards. Pickup of 3 for Ironhead.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Ironhead Hayward. That's why, on average, when he touches the ball, he gains 4.6 yards. Number 3 in the NFL. Because he can get hit by a big 250-pound middle linebacker at the line of scrimmage and just keep going.
29 yards, but 1 fumble for Hayward here in the first half. The Falcons trailing by 11, and Hebert to throw. Gets hit, incomplete. Wayne Simmons from behind. Bryce Pop was there, and there's your pass rush on Hebert.
Yeah, there's 6 guys going after him. You send the linemen, and then you send the linebackers as well. Kuntz and Simmons also involved in that pass rush.
Simmons was there to get the hit on Hebert, and the pass dropped incomplete. 8 out of 14 after taking over for Jeff George. He left in the first quarter with a broken little finger on his left hand. Third down and 7. Little screen pass to Hayward. He has blocking. Hayward is down inside the 5 and down to the 2. Those were some big bodies running in a pack.
You didn't know who was the lineman and who was the running back. Nice change up by the Falcons. Let the blitz come. Turn it loose. Throw the screen pass. And now those linemen have got to get more separation. They think that they can run in front of Ironhead if they give him a yard. They got to get 3 or 4 yards in front of Big Ironhead. He may be as big as them, but he's a heck of a lot faster.
19-yard completion on the screen pass to Hayward. First and goal from the 2. Hayward. No signal, and now the signal. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ironhead makes up for the fumble on the last possession and helps punch it in for Atlanta.
Yeah, how much do you think a team like the Denver Broncos, a team that's had so many problems on the goal line, would love to have Ironhead Hayward in their backfield? The ultimate short yardage, ultimate goal line weapon. Watch him hit the mass in here and just go through it.
Hayward, his 8th touchdown of the year, his 7th via the rush. And the Falcons will try for 2. Trying to close it to within a 3-point lead. Hebert throws it. It is incomplete. Heavy rush, Reggie White. Put Hebert on his back, and the two-point try is no good. And it's a 14-9 Green Bay lead. As we take a break, time for the Aflac trivia question. As we celebrate the final Green Bay Packer game in Milwaukee, we want to know what NFL record was set here in 1945. Think about that. Our Aflac trivia answer: Don Hudson retired with an armload of records, but his effort on October 7, 1945 is unique among them. At State Fair Park, Hudson scored 4 touchdowns and 5 extra points in 1 quarter for a total of 29 points in a record that he still holds. Scott Tyner kicks it away for the Falcons. Corey Harris inside his 15. Darryl Ford there to trip him up just as he crossed the 25-yard line. There's action going on in Chicago. Let's check in with James Brown.
Action of the fans variety type. Take a look at Steve Walsh. Play action. Drills a bullet to Keith Jennings. He's big enough to catch it. He did. And we're all tied in Chicago. 10-10. 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Let's take it back to Milwaukee. Joe Buck and Tim Green.
All right, James Brown, thank you. 1st and 10 for Green Bay. They set up at their own 28. Leading by 5 at 14-9. 6.5 minutes left to play in the half. Cobb in motion. And the toss to Bennett. Hit in the backfield by Chuck Smith. What a season he's having.
Well, you know, Chuck Smith is a guy, and you think that people can't change. People can't turn themselves around. And you see him here coming up with the edge, using the speed that he has and the thing that's made him an impact player himself this season. He's turned himself around. He used to be a guy that would have problems with coaches, problems with players. Now he's a guy who works harder than anyone else, and there you see the results.
2nd down and 14 after that play by Smith. Bennett brought down by D.J. Johnson before he could get back to the original line of scrimmage. And the Packers are in neutral on this possession.
Well, let's just, not to retract too much, but we got to take a look at Reggie White on that 2-point conversion. That could be one of the big plays of the game. Watch him here, just coming up and blasting right over the top of Zandowski. Look at that. Puts him on his back. Zandowski is a 300-pounder. That's like taking the refrigerator and not William Perry, but the one in your kitchen and putting it on its side.
Favre escapes pressure, looking for help. Backside of the field, wide open is his running back Bennett, and he's out close to midfield. That gives Edgar Bennett 66 receptions for the year. A club record for running backs, and that was a big one.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of Brett Favre. Again, Chuck Smith, he scrambles outside of him, and then he runs all the way to his left, on the run, throws back to his right. He launches that ball like a mortar. You don't know whether he's throwing it to Sharp or Bennett. Well, no, I guarantee he was throwing it to Bennett because he's got the accuracy to throw that ball. He could have thrown it to either one of them.
A 25-yard completion when it looked like Favre would be sacked. Now the handoff to Bennett. Got 4 over the left side, and Sterling Sharp is down. Sterling Sharp down and in obvious pain. Sterling Sharp about to head to his 5th Pro Bowl.
That's a bad sign for the Packers. And what happens is he's right here. He gets involved in the block. I mean, he's so big and strong. He gets involved in the run play, and you see him there taking on the defensive back, and boy, he took it right on the numbers.
Something is wrong with Sterling Sharp. We hope to have an answer when we return.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Heineken, the #1 selling imported beer. Heineken, just being the best is enough.
Brad Edwards laid the hit on Sterling Sharp, and Sterling immediately fell backward, went face down into the turf. Edwards there to check on his well-being. What happened to Sterling Sharp?
Well, Edwards saw Sharp coming out and throwing the block on him. Edwards hits him full force, and take a look at Sterling Sharp's head right there. He snaps his head back, and I believe it's probably a stinger. It's probably one of those deals. You don't know how serious it is, because anytime the neck is involved, you know, it could be awful. I mean, it could be tragic. Hopefully it's not, but that was where the impact was. Brad Edwards hit him helmet to helmet, and Sharp's head popped back.
Well, that's great news. He's up on his feet. You saw Andre Rison in there checking on his buddy. Brad Edwards, who laid the hit on him, was down there to check on his well-being, and that's the moment where any rivalry breaks down. When a player gets hit in the head, he's down on his back, motionless. That's when you forget all that other stuff and worry about the human being inside that uniform, and it's great to see Sharp up and walking back to the sideline.
Joe, you are absolutely right. There is no worse nightmare than being on the football field, and I don't care if the guy is on your team or the other team. There's no worse feeling than seeing a guy lay there with a neck problem and motionless.
It's been a big day for Sharp. He's now second all-time on the Packer list of receiving yards. He's up to 7,998. He just passed Hall of Famer Don Hudson. James Lofton still sitting pretty in first place. Second down and 7, and Favre rolls out. He hits his tight end Shimura. Brought down by Ken Tippins from behind, but not before the Packers pick up a first down.
First down for the Packers.
Well, we saw Jeff George leave in the first quarter with a broken little finger on his left hand. It looks like Sharp's all right.
Yeah, I think that Sharp probably scared him as much as anything. I mean, those stingers hurt, but he probably has never had a stinger before. When you play in the line, you get those things all the time, and they make you go numb, and it's a scary thing.
First down for Green Bay. Quick hitch to Brooks. Picks up some extra yards, brought down by Matthews. DJ Johnson hit him first, and a pickup of 5.
Johnson made the tackle on Brooks.
When you talk about the butcher and the baker for the Packers, here's the guy right here, Mo Gardner, the unsung hero for the Atlanta Falcons. He is an effort guy who just goes nonstop, and you see him there. He's got 2 guys on him. You don't put 2 guys on Mo Gardner, he will get there sooner or later.
Second down and 5, and we have a confirmation it was a stinger for Sharp. Favre airs it out, and it drops incomplete. That was up there for the taking. Morgan, the intended receiver, but nobody saw it. Favre was hit when he let that ball go. You may notice that for the Atlanta Falcons, Chris Dolman is not involved in the pass rush. They're working on his foot over on the bench. You see his right foot with his shoe untied.
Well, he's had problems with his foot, and then most recently with his legs. So he's had injury problems all season long.
Third down and 5. Packers 4 out of 5 on third down today. 4 out of 6. That's that strong arm that you see from Favre. It's going to be interesting to see what the Packers decide to do. They bring in Jackie, and they'll try a long field goal. Chris Jackie will set up. This will be better than a 50-yarder. He is 1 for 2 with this range this season. His career long is 54 yards. Season long is 50, and this will be 51. This would be a new season long if Jackie can hit it. No good. Pushed it wide to the right. And the Atlanta offense will take over with great field position, trailing by only 5. Tonight at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, see Christmas through the eyes of comedian Louis Anderson. It's an all-new animated holiday special for the whole family. Don't miss Life with Louis tonight, right after an all-new Simpsons. Louis never looked better. He could not have been involved with the drawing of his likeness. Not a very flattering depiction of Louis Anderson. But he's a comedian. It's all in the name of comedy, and that's tonight on Fox.
What does it mean when all of our co-workers on this network are cartoon characters?
That's a very good question.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. First down and 10. And the play clock ran out on the Falcons. This is going to cost Atlanta 5 as Hebert could not get it away, it looked like.
Delay, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So 1st and 15 for Atlanta.
Yeah, and the indecision in this is created by Mike Pryor. Look at him here. Now there's 5 other guys along the line here. He's coming in and out of the run zone, in and out. There he looks like he's in, so Hebert says maybe I should change it to a pass. Is he going in? Is he going out? Hebert can't decide, and the clock runs out.
First and 15. That's batted down. Big Don Davey was there for Green Bay.
I love it. I love it when the Butcher or the Baker make a play. Because when they make a play, they make it by sheer hustle, sheer determination. And you see Don Davey there. He was working, pushing, shoving. He didn't get to Hebert, so he did the next best thing. He got that big arm up there and knocked the pass down.
Total yards are identical here in the first half, 159 for each team. Green Bay leading by 5 in Atlanta with 2nd down and 15. Sanders ripped out of bounds by Wayne Simmons.
The reason why that is such a nice play for Wayne Simmons is not the fact that he threw Sanders down, like a rag doll. It's because Wayne Simmons was right there with Sanders, step for step. Simmons is a big inside linebacker, but he's running in a foot race with Sanders.
3rd and 8. After a pickup of 7, and we're down to the 2-minute warning. The Atlanta Falcons have the ball. They trail Green Bay by 5. 2 minutes left in the first half here in Milwaukee.
Well, it's the Green Bay Packers, our town defense. Like we said, in a small town, you've always got your cast of characters. Sean Jones, he's like the banker. He's a money manager in real life, kind of the thinking man on this defensive front. Reggie White, he's the minister. Don Davey, John Yurkovich, the Butcher, and the Baker, the unsung guys that every town needs.
No candlestick maker, though, huh? You couldn't come up with that.
Yeah, you got the Butcher, the Baker, and the minister and the banker. That fills out the town.
There's Yurko. 3rd down and 8. Jump, and the whistle stop play. Don Davey, the Butcher, a little anxious.
Yeah, he jumped a little too soon.
The officials get together. Gary Lane will give us the call.
Encroachment, defense, number 99. Prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
I don't know why he just doesn't say encroachment, the Butcher.
But, he give him time because this is going to stick. I mean, when you get a tough, intense guy like Davey, that's a way to slow him down. You try to trick him. You don't want to go at the Butcher head on because he'll slam you. He'll chop you. So you go around the back door and you trick him.
3rd and 3 now. Hebert over the middle. Incomplete, and a great defensive play by Corey Harris. Ricky Sanders, the intended receiver. He had it in his hands, and Harris knocked it away.
Yeah, you got to give Harris credit, absolutely. He makes the hit and breaks up the play. Give Sanders credit, too, because Bobby Hebert throws this ball a little behind him. He has to reach back. Look at that. Reach back and just totally open himself up to the big hit. A lot of receivers just let that ball sail by.
Harold Alexander back to punt for Atlanta. Robert Brooks and Mike Pryor back deep for Green Bay. Brooks, one of the better return men in the league. This is Pryor. He'll let it go over his head and into the end zone. Well, Tim, you've dubbed John Yurkovich the Baker, and he liked it.
Well, it's been going on for 3 weeks, and some strange things have been happening in the Green Bay area as a result. Signs have been popping up all over the place.
You guys are killing me. That's a good picture, though.
Is that funny?
He liked his picture.
Hey, you know, he loved it. I mean, and I'll tell you what, I could see that happening. I could see the bakeries around the area actually, you know, honoring this guy by coming up with these billboard-sized pictures and just putting them up above their stands.
First down for Green Bay. Farr sets up a screen. This is Bennett. Cuts inside and big yards for Edgar Bennett. Hurdling players as he goes, and he's out of bounds inside Atlanta territory, out at the 41, a pickup of 40 yards.
Well, to run the screen effectively, you've got to run it often. And when you run it often, you know how to set up the defensive lineman, let him go, and then get you 3 big boys out there in front. You see Galbraith, Winters, and there's McIntyre. Then Bennett just goes to work, hurdling, juking, and then puts his shoulder down to put a little icing on the cake. And, Joe, those 3/4-inch spikes are doing the job.
Well, laying in Bennett's wake. As you get a look at the day for Bennett, the first half, he's been pleading to get to the Pro Bowl. He's an alternate. He deserves to be there. Chuck Smith laying in the wake of Edgar Bennett. Back on his back, and the training staff works on his right leg.
I talked earlier about how hard Chuck Smith works, and there you see the frustration of a guy who lives for this game. How hard does he work? He not only practices defensive reps in practice, he turns around and jumps on the scout team, something a starter does not have to do, and especially a guy with 11 sacks. When you have those kind of numbers, you earn a new respect, and instead of taking advantage of it, Chuck Smith has just decided he's going to work even harder.
While they tend to Chuck Smith, we'll show you the Pro Bowl selections for Atlanta. Jesse Tuggle, the Hammer. Elbert Shelley is 3rd in a row.
The Brick House. The Hammer and the Brick House.
For Green Bay, Sterling Sharp, Reggie White, and what an honor, and deservedly so for Bryce Paup.
He's had a fine year. You know, that's what you love to see. I mean, these guys, obviously, great players. But when a guy like Bryce Paup, who really doesn't say a lot, he just shows up, does his job, packs his things up and goes home, and he makes the Pro Bowl, it lets you know that although the system is sometimes wrong when it overlooks somebody like Brett Favre, sometimes it works.
A lot of injuries here in the first half. First, we lost Jeff George with a broken little finger on his left hand. Sharp, who was out with a stinger. Now you see Chuck Smith. Chris Dolman also out in the pass rush, and Lester Archambault checks in, number 92, in place of Chuck Smith. Far into the flats. There's Bennett again. Out of bounds with another first down. That last play for Bennett, the 40-yard completion on the screen, the longest play of his career. With the injury, he had time to rest up. Now he picks up 10+ on the next catch.
Yeah, and you see most of the Green Bay Packers passes going to the outside. Again, here's just another creative way for Mike Holmgren to take advantage of the mismatch. A big fullback like Bennett being covered by number 45, Darnell Walker.
On first down, Favre to put it up. Airs it out. Intercepted by Walker. And back the other way. Darnell Walker out of bounds across the 30. They've been picking on him all first half. Favre went there one time too many.
Yeah, he went one too many, Joe, but Jumpy Gathers is the guy that forced that interception. Watch the hit that Brett Favre takes. Here's Gathers. He's got the forklift. He lifts Galbraith up, takes him off his feet, and puts the crunch on Brett Favre. Look at that. He gets his arms right around Galbraith. Puts the crunch on Brett Favre, forces him to throw too deep and too soon.
Well, that takes the scoring chance away from Green Bay. And now Atlanta has a chance with 1:16 and all 3 of their timeouts remaining to pull closer or take the lead.
And it's a good feeling for a guy like Darnell Walker who knows that they're coming after him. He knows it. And then he turns up with a huge interception. Very redeeming feeling.
First down for Atlanta. Bobby Hebert stands back in the shotgun. Over the middle, Sanders, and a first down catch brought down at the 46. Teague and Butler there for the stop, a pickup of 13. 1 minute left in the first half. Atlanta with 2 timeouts remaining. The throw behind Sanders. Harris and Simmons were there for Green Bay.
You know, the Falcons, Joe Buck, should be the best 2-minute offense in the NFL because they're always in the 2-minute offense. They've always got 4 wide receivers and 1 running back. That's their standard set, and that's what you do when you want to stretch the field and move it down fast.
Second and 10.
Second down and 10. 2 timeouts remaining for Atlanta. 48 seconds left in the first half. Hebert finds Sanders. Brought down in midfield and short of a first down, a pickup of only 4. And the Falcons will take one of their 2 remaining timeouts.
I can't imagine, Joe, that anybody who has to face Reggie White can sleep the night before. Watch what he does to Zandowski on this play. Puts the hooks on him, the clamps, gets help from Fortin, but look at that. Zandowski right on his back. They've got 3 guys on him. Ironhead, Fortin, and Zandowski, who's on his back.
Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, they were the perfect couple. They had the perfect romance and the perfect wedding. But the honeymoon, well, that's another story. Meg Ryan and Alec Baldwin star in Prelude to a Kiss, a world broadcast premiere Tuesday on Fox. That's a good movie. That is a good movie.
If you say so, then I'll see it.
All right.
And I'll bet you Edgar Bennett will, too.
Edgar Bennett, a die-hard moviegoer, whether it's in the theater or in the hotel room the night before a game. The word on Chuck Smith, a sprained right knee. For Chris Dolman, a sprained right ankle. For Jeff George, a broken little finger on his left hand. A costly first half for the Falcons.
Yeah, the only thing worse that could happen to the Falcons is to lose Rising.
Third down and 6 for Atlanta. With time, and he finds Rising. Brought down inside the 40. Doug Evans there for the stop and a pickup of 12. Only 1 timeout remaining for Atlanta. Under 30 seconds to play here in the half. Hebert airs it out. Risen overthrown. Good coverage by Evans.
Well, they're going the right direction. That's where you want to go when you need the points. You go to Risen.
Folks, coming up on the Dockers Halftime, James and Terry will have all of today's scores and highlights from around the league. Plus, we'll look at another edition of Sweet Feet. Highlights the NFL's most explosive and elusive running plays, all coming up next on the Dockers Halftime.
You know, Joe Buck, the Falcons need to take more advantage of Andre Rison. They need to move him into the slot position or motion him. Now, I know that's not part of the run and shoot offense, but when you leave him out there on the side all the time, he's got to contend with the sideline, and teams can double him up a lot easier.
Second down. That pass knocked down by Reggie White. Don Davey was there as well. And Reggie just standing with his hands on his hips. He almost had an interception.
Well, when you're busting up in the line of scrimmage against the big bodies, you usually don't have time to get the hands up quick and pull the ball down. But when you're the size of a billboard, you don't always have to get your hands up. You can just be there, and the ball runs into you and bounces off.
The Falcons do need yards to get within Norm Johnson's field goal range. They'd like to get it down to the 30. The ball is resting just shy of the 38. And now the officials will talk something over. 12 seconds left. Only one timeout remaining for Atlanta. Norm Johnson's career long is 54 yards. His season long is 50. Right now, you're talking about a 56-yarder. They need yards.
Well, see what I mean up top there, Joe, with Andre Rison? They can roll two guys and cover him, and he's limited as to where he can go. The sideline's too close.
Third down and 10. Hebert under pressure, throws. Intercepted by Evans. His first of the year. Hang on to that ball, Doug. You're going to want to keep it. And as the Green Bay drive was cut short by an interception, the same can be said for Atlanta.
Well, Evans knew he had help on this one. You see him here locked on Rison. Rison's going to break in. Evans is going to stay with him because he knows he's got help from the safety. Right there, breaks in with Rison, pulls the ball down.
And the big pressure on Hebert forced the overthrow. The interception, now the kneel down. Green Bay will have the lead at half. They will receive the second half kickoff. They need this game to stay alive in the playoff hunt. That's the end of the first half with our score. Green Bay 14, Atlanta 9. Stay tuned for the Dockers halftime after some words from your local Fox station.
This is the Dockers Halftime. 100% cotton, wrinkle-free Dockers.
Yeah, we will do it. All right, and welcome back to Hollywood. Along with Terry Bradshaw, I'm James Brown. At the half, Green Bay is holding to a 5-point lead. Green Bay 6-1 in the state of Wisconsin, but more specifically, your guy Favre playing well.
Brett Favre, when I talked to him this week, I asked him why the turnaround. Last year, 24 interceptions led the league in interceptions to now 30 touchdown passes this year to only 12 interceptions, and did make the Pro Bowl. Figure that. And he told me he worked so hard on reading the blitzes, and now he understands what the blocking schemes are, that blitzes no longer scare him, and he doesn't get befuddled. And he understands it. Watch these highlights. Befuddled. That's a Southern term.
That's a good one.
Very Southern.
Okay, let's take a look at the highlights. Fans in Milwaukee appreciate the memories.
Brett Favre throwing out in the flat. Sterling Sharp, 15 touchdown reception on the year. Nobody in the flat. That's why he's a great receiver, folks. He catches it. He breaks tackles. Touchdown pass 29 for young Favre. There you see Jeff George out with a broken pinky. Come back. Blitz. Just talked about it. Get him, Anthony Morgan, out of Tennessee. Touchdown. touchdown pass, number 30. Haywood fumbled early in the game, comes back, redeems himself. Right now, 30 yards rushing in the first half, and a 2-yard touchdown run. See how fast I did that?
Befuddled. I like that one. And the Packers right now ahead of the Falcons by 4 in Milwaukee. Okay, in Chicago, the Bears still with a shot for the NFC Central title, holding to a touchdown lead. Hey, Chris George, Terry Bradshaw hair tonic menthol flavor.
Let it go, JB. Chandler sets up, fires in the corner. There's John Mangum, defensive quarterback, interferes with Jesse Hester. Penalty flag thrown, interference, set up a 1-yard touchdown run by Chandler. Now Steve Ross get him made. Talk to his mama, she's happy about him. Throws a touchdown to Keith Jennings. Bears looking good. Right before the half, Alonzo Spelman gets up. Spelman blocks. Field goal attempt by the Rams. Bears looking good.
The blonde bomber says, let it go.
Let it go. Earn it loose.
Right now, Chicago is holding to a touchdown lead over the Rams. That in the third quarter of play. In Washington, Tampa Bay looking for its 4th consecutive victory. Be the first time in 15 years right now, trailing by 4. In the Meadowlands, San Diego trying to clinch the AFC West, holding to a 1-point lead. And in Buffalo, at halftime, it is all even at 17 apiece. We'll be back with Sweet Feet after this. Welcome back to Hollywood, the Doctors Halftime, along with Terry Bradshaw. I'm James Brown. And although you went on to become a quarterback of some note, you do appreciate what the running backs do.
Hey, look, you're looking at a guy who used to think that if someone said, do you have athlete's feet, I would say, thanks a lot. I do. Thank you very much. Well, these guys don't have athlete's feet. They have sweet feet. Well, JB, it's only appropriate that we end this with a Barry Sanders run. You know, of the 9 runs in the NFL this year that are over 60 yards, 6 of those are by Barry Sanders.
Well, your research is awesome.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else that's awesome. You boys and girls out there, you be sure and tune in next week when we will have the plays of the year, and they're just for you. We want you to enjoy them, and they are called
Choice Cuts.
Choice Cuts.
All right, we'll be back with more Doctors Halftime after this.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
Talking Packers, Sundays on the TV6.
Well, as we've told you all afternoon long, this day ends the 61-year relationship between the city of Milwaukee and the Green Bay Packers with regard to the Packers playing a home football game here in Milwaukee. You don't get any better than this. It's, as the sign says, they love the Pack here in Milwaukee, but this will be the last game played in the city of Milwaukee. Now, Randy Casa of West Allis, Wisconsin, which is just down the street, won the worst seat in County Stadium contest. We'll give you a look at where he's sitting. Section 21, row 35, seat 1. The contest was held by WTMJ Radio. and Randy gave the best reason for getting the worst seat. Here is his view of the first half here in Milwaukee. Incidentally, there were 8 lucky runners-up. They each received a pair of great seats for the game. This is Randy Casa. Randy, what'd you think of that first half?
Well, it was great what I saw.
Now tell us, as we give you the MCI proof positive replays, why don't you help take us through? Now, the first one was to Sterling Sharp. What'd you think of this one?
Randy, did you see Sharp catch the ball and then just run over DJ Johnson?
Yeah, not very clearly.
Well, that was the first of 2 touchdown passes. The second one was to Anthony Morgan. What'd you think of this one?
Yeah, never saw it.
You never saw the way Morgan took advantage of Darnell Walker and Favre just got the ball off in time?
Never.
Morgan was wide open. Did you know that they even scored a touchdown, Randy?
Not until about 5 or 10 minutes later.
Well, can't you see the scoreboard from there? Didn't you hear the cheer and see the numbers go up?
No, you can just see the bottom line of the scoreboard.
Randy Casa, here's the way you get a chance to see the game through our words. Would you please be our guest and keep the headset on so we can describe the second half for you?
Guys, I'd love to. I'm enjoying the heck out of it.
I want to ask you one thing. You're from Milwaukee. What do you think of the Packers leaving?
Well, it's disappointing. I understand there's reasons for it, and we're going to miss them dearly, and we wish them the very best, and maybe there's a time in the future they'll be back.
Randy Casa, thanks for staying clean with that description, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Second half kickoff taken by Robert Brooks. The Packers have the ball. A flag comes flying in. Brooks was dropped by Elbert Shelley, who will head to the Pro Bowl as a special teams player. A flag on the kickoff. And we'll check the flag. The officials will spot the ball, and the Packers will have it to start the second half, and this will cost Green Bay some yards.
Holding on the return team, number 39. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Well, just so you know why you call Elbert Shelley the brick house, it's because he's got about 2, maybe 3% body fat, so he looks like a brick house.
That makes sense.
Yep. When you see that stomach and those ripples and the cuts and everything like that, that's why the guys call him.
Well, he made the tackle, and Chris Dolman is back in. Out with a foot earlier. Now back into the action. Favre hands to Bennett. Brought down by Jesse Tuggle. Give you a look at the halftime statistics. The yardage just about even.
Yeah, it is. It's almost dead even, Joe. Big thing here, 2 turnovers to 1 turnover. That's the advantage to Green Bay, and really that's the only reason why there's any point difference in this game thus far.
The point difference is Green Bay 14, Atlanta 9. Opening minute of the second half. That's Cobb in motion, and Favre to put it up. Brooks on the near sideline, fights for a first down. He ran right around DJ Johnson and got enough for a first down.
Well, no question, DJ Johnson is having his problems today with tackling these receivers. Now, Sharp ran through him, but Brooks is not a run-through guy, and Johnson gets his arms out the way he has to, his head across the way he has to, but Brooks is the quick guy.
Good effort for a first down. Favre, his day, 13 out of 20 for 178 yards. A couple of touchdowns and 1 interception just before the half. And Hebert turned around and threw an interception. Favre scrambles and he underthrows Brooks.
The Packers, Joe, have been very patient passing the ball. And when I say patient, I mean under 10 yards, they're 8 for 11. So you don't see as many deep balls for the Packers. And they know that the weakness in the Falcons' defense has come mostly this season in the fourth quarter. And I talked to Brett Favre yesterday, and he said, we'll just hang in there, and we know even if we get behind, that's the time to attack the Falcons. That's when they get soft late in the game.
Second down and 10. This is Brooks, and there's another first down. Tuggle throws him back before he could get to midfield, but The ball will be spotted at the 49, an 18-yard pickup, and another Green Bay first down. 44-yard day for Brooks. Big day for Brett Favre as well, Tim. He has set career highs in completions, attempts, and yards. He's had a wonderful career.
Yeah.
He should be in the Pro Bowl. Heck, this guy's only 25 years old.
Yeah, you're right. He should be in the Pro Bowl.
Favre has thrown for better than 3,400 yards this season. He hands to Bennett. He tries out the right side and finds success. He got 8. Tuggle and Case there to make the stop.
You know, Joe, part of the problem with the new Pro Bowl voting is that the fans can vote. And when fans vote, things like this happen. Now, Young and Marino, they're in the Pro Bowl. Elway and Aikman, they're in the Pro Bowl. Everybody around Brett Favre is in the Pro Bowl. He's the 3rd best quarterback in the National Football League. He's not there because he doesn't have one of these marquee names. That's what happens when the fans get to vote.
Second down and 3. Cobb turns the corner and gets a first down. Clay Matthews there for the stop, but Cobb picked up 5 and another first down. Green Bay starting out the second half as they did the first half, marching it right down the field. In the first quarter, Jeff George broke the little finger on his left hand. He has it wrapped up. He's in the turtleneck, but he is out for the rest of the day and likely the rest of the season. First down, Packers. Bennett picked up a couple. You know, the Packers have a good thing going here with Bennett and Cobb. You're not going to get the feature back that's going to go right to the Pro Bowl, but you got 2 guys that combined are having a fantastic year.
Yeah, not only, most of their impact, Joe, has been in the passing game, because this is that, everybody calls it the California offense, and a big feature in that offense is the short passing game to the running backs. So these guys have gained decent yardage on the ground, but their biggest contribution to the offense has been when they catch the ball at 4 or 5 yards and then run for a couple more.
Sterling Sharp still not in the lineup for Green Bay. Out with the stinger. Brett Favre will have to use a timeout. They're monitoring Sterling Sharp over on the sideline. They hope he returns. Favre hope he returns. The Green Bay fans hope he returns.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Lexus, maker of the 1995 ES300. Let others follow. By Taco Bell, tacos, burritos, and nachos cross the border. And by Madden NFL 95 from EA Sports. It's in the game.
A second down for Green Bay. Lester Archambault checks in for Chuck Smith, who left with a strained knee at the end of the first half. Favre to throw. Little pump fake, and he guns it to Morgan. Another first down for Green Bay at the 22.
You know, the pump fake is one of the reasons why Brett Favre is having such a fantastic season this year, Joe. He has the sophistication now to draw the defenders away from where he really wants to go. Last season and the season before, he was too busy looking and seeking out his primary receiver. Now he knows where his primary receiver should be. He draws the defense away with the pump and then goes back to his prime target.
With good yards, a flag on the play. I mean to tell you, Dolman got such a jump off the line for Atlanta. It may be offside. They ran right to the spot he vacated coming upfield.
And that's part of the reason why you want to run at Chris Dolman.
But they call a hold. A hold on Green Bay. So big yards for Cobb, but it's coming back. Gary Lane.
Offense, number 62, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, see, that does not surprise me and shouldn't surprise anybody in the least, because Guy McIntyre is a tough, mean player, but he's only 275 pounds. Jumpy Gathers is 6'7", 310, and he can bench press a house. See him there, fighting, struggling, so you can't blame McIntyre for getting his hands wrapped around Jumpy Gathers. Heck, he probably thinks that this is a sumo wrestling match.
First and 20. Screen pass. Not a big surprise. Bennett brought down at the 26. A pickup of 6.
When you have a force, Joe Buck, like Jumpy Gathers, and he's coming all day, watch him here against Galbraith. He's coming hard. Galbraith actually is letting him go. That's how you slow him down. Turn him loose and dump the screen up over his head. Nothing will frustrate a strong, physical, upfield pass rusher like a screen that gets just dumped over his head.
Second down and 15. Side, and Cobb is dropped on a good tackle by D.J. Johnson.
Well, we've seen D.J. Johnson miss 2 critical tackles this game. The first was Sharp in the end zone, the second with Morgan juking him, and now here Johnson gets to show his stuff, just straight on with the runner, gets himself underneath his legs and accelerates. Chalk one up for D.J. Johnson.
Chuck Smith is checked back into the lineup for Atlanta. He plays on the left end. There's Chuck. Brooks on a quick slant. Brought down by Johnson and Tuggle.
Johnson made the tackle on Brooks.
A pickup of 7 in time for the field goal unit to try one, as Brooks could get only to the 20.
Well, now Johnson is 2-2 right now. He started out 0 for 2, but the last 2 tackles on the receivers he's made, and those were just as important plays as the ones that he gave up.
Jackie will try one from 37. Chris 0 for 1 today. Good snap, good hold. Poor kick. Jackie 0 for 2. He's missed 2 today, and the lead stays at 5. Good possession for the Packers. 37-yard try by Jackie. No good, and the Packers come away empty.
1 year supply.
I don't know if you can catch it, but Chris Jackie, a little upset with that effort. He is 0 for 2 today. Just been one of those kinds of days for the kicker, Jackie. The lead is still 5 for Green Bay. Bear and the Falcons take over. Hayward carries the pile with him, and he's brought down just across the 35, a pickup of 8.
Boy, Ironhead just lifted Pop up off of his feet on that play. Pop, the big rangy linebacker, Pro Bowl player, but man, when Hayward hit him low, he just carried him. Looked like Pop got hit by a big wave.
Second down and 2. Wave number 34 is still in the backfield for the Falcons. Here he comes. And a first down carry. Boy, he is tough to stop short yardage. You know, it's interesting, Tim, we talked to June Jones last night. He still thinks Hayward is 25 pounds overweight.
Yeah, he says that Hayward would play better at 245. I don't know. I think he's playing tremendous football at 270 because not only can he run and he still moves well, but he's such an asset in the pass protection at 270 pounds.
It's like having an extra lineman back in the backfield with your quarterback. Mathis in motion on first down. Bear is hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Rise in the intended receiver. Sean Jones was on top of Hebert, along with Pop. They were coming.
Well, one thing about this field, Joe, it's going to deteriorate as the day goes on. You see Risen here making his cut and then slipping and sliding. Now, one thing about the Falcons and the run and shoot, when you practice it, when you play it, mostly play it on that artificial turf, and all of a sudden you come to a field that gets a little juicy, it takes away the effectiveness of that offense.
Second down and 10. Hebert rolls. Hebert runs. Bobby Hebert out of bounds inside the 45. A 20-yard pickup for the veteran out of Northwest Louisiana.
That was a trick play in the run and shoot. Why is it a trick play? Because this is a designed run play. Watch Whitfield invite Pop inside and then seal him off and drive him. Hebert drops back and just rolls. This is a run play. Drop back, roll out and run. Whitfield, invite the block, invite Pop inside and then seal him off. See there, Whitfield says, come in, and then I'll keep you inside and pin you down.
Their second run this season for the Falcons of 20 or more yards. Hebert gets it. Now hands off to Hayward. A pickup of only one. There's Leroy Butler getting up off Hayward. Butler has been talking about getting in more on run plays.
Yeah, well, that's what put him in the Pro Bowl last year, because he was more involved in the run plays, and he was up there, and he is a big hitter. He carries a wallop. You know, wasn't it interesting yesterday, Joe Buck, to talk to Jeff George and hear him, the quarterback, say he thinks that Ironhead needs to get the ball more in the running plays?
That's pretty much the consensus. When you talk to Falcon players, they'd like to run the ball more. To throw into the corner and out of bounds. Terrence Mathis, the intended receiver. Doug Evans was all over him legally.
Third and 10.
Third down and 10 facing Atlanta. 6 defensive backs check into the game for Fritz Shermer. Atlanta 4 out of 8 on third down today. Hebert rushed. He gets rid of it. Emmanuel incomplete. Buckley was there for the Packers.
Well, Hebert drops the ball right in there, but Buckley has the perfect coverage. So a guy who's received a lot of criticism over the past weeks, really showing his stuff on that, because Emmanuel is a speedster. Buckley was with him step for step, perfect pass coverage.
Alexander is third punt of the day. Brooks is back deep, along with Pryor. Pryor with a fair catch back at his own 10. And that's where Brett Favre and the Green Bay offense will set up. The Packers have the ball and the lead. They have the Falcons by 5. We'll give you a look at the AFC East. Miami takes on Indianapolis later. They're on top with a record of 9-5. New England 8-6, leading the Bills 31-17. That would do it for Buffalo if they can't come back. And then the Jets, they trail 14-6 to San Diego. And if the Chargers can win that one, the third time will be a charm as they try to wrap up the AFC West. A flag on the play as Cobb gets the handoff. A pickup of 5, but a flag on the play. Gary Lane. And a hold against Green Bay.
Holding offense, number 76. Half the distance penalty to the goal line, still first down.
Joe, the Packers talked about patience in their offense, but they're actually doing it. They're coming out, they're running the ball, they're keeping the short underneath passes. That's patience. They're perfectly willing to work down the field and play ball control, even in a tight 5-point game.
That was the 6th penalty of the day against the Packers. Bennett over the middle. First down to the 25-yard line. Green Bay on the move, and there's action in Chicago. Time for a McDonald's game break. Here's James Brown.
And Joe, in Chicago, the Bears are trying to capitalize on mistakes. Take a look at Todd Kinchin. Punt return for the Rams. Mo Douglas knocks it loose. 5th fumble of the season for Kinchin. The Bears, it leads to a field goal by Kevin Butler. Bears on top by 10. Back to Milwaukee. Joe and Tim.
Thanks, James Brown. That was a 19-yard pickup on the pass to Bennett.
No.
He's had 6 catches for 100 yards. Not much this time. A pickup of only 1.
Gathers made the tackle on Bennett.
Jumpy Gathers with the tackle.
And did you notice how when Jumpy Gathers makes a tackle, Joe, it's in the backfield? He is a guy that just fires off the ball, gets into his guy, pushes him backwards, or hits a gap and gets upfield. He'll either make the tackle or miss the tackle in the backfield.
2nd down and 9. Brought down right at the marker. Clay Matthews there trying to strip it. And in the meantime, Chimura carried him right to the 1st down marker.
Yeah, how about the extra effort by Chimura? Just wrenching his body, pushing himself forward. And Clay Matthews trying to make a big play and strip the ball. But when he goes for the strip, he loses his concentration on the tackle. And that's why the Packers have got the 1st down right now. You can't fault Clay Matthews. He's a veteran, played for years, Pro Bowl. He knows the way to win games is the big play. So he went for the big play on that, but it was the wrong decision.
There's the tight end Chimura, playing in place of the injured Ed West. 1st down for the Packers. Hand off to Bennett. Edgar Bennett across the 40 and a flag on the play. A pickup of 6. Flag came flying in from the secondary.
And once again, more running, more short passes. That's patience on offense.
And heck, Favre's had a big day, Tim. 20 out of 28 for 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Another hold on Green Bay. This will be the 7th penalty marked off against the Pack.
Offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty. Remain 1st down.
Reggie Johnson, the tight end, guilty. One side note to the day for Brett Favre. He's gone over the 10,000-yard mark for passing in his career. The 4th-year player from Southern Miss. Faced with a 1st and 20. Ron George, a linebacker, replaces Ken Tippins on the defense for Atlanta. Favre looking for help. Finally brought down Jumpy Gathers. Lester Archambault was there also for Atlanta.
This is one of the most unorthodox defensive maneuvers I've seen. Watch Chris Dolman coming from the right side. He starts the pass rush, gets nowhere, and then drops back into coverage, frustrating the throw that Brett Favre wants to make. Watch him here. He just pulls back, and Favre has nowhere to go.
1st sack of the game, and it belongs to Gathers. His 8th of the year. Now 2nd and 26. Favre lost the football. And the Packers were able to fall on top. This drive started out well, but now the Packers are in reverse.
Packers recover the fumble.
When the ball gets on that mush, it starts to get slippery. Brett Favre loses his handle on it, and look who's there right up the middle of it. Jumpy Gathers. No surprise.
Who saves Favre? His roommate, Frank Winters, is center.
That should be no surprise either, should it?
Probably not the only time he saved him in one fashion or another. 3rd and 31. Big Chuck Smith throws it back into the face of Favre. And it's time for Green Bay to punt.
That play by Chuck Smith shows two things. One, athleticism, being able to stop and leap. Two, smarts, knowing he does not have the time to get to Favre, gathering himself and defending the pass.
Well, what you're seeing are the defensive ends rushing, dropping back to take away that little dump pass. It happened twice on that possession. Once by Dolman, this time by Smith. Now Hendrick punts it away, and a beauty. Verdun from his 45. Goes nowhere as Mike Pryor throws him back. The Atlanta Falcons, however, have great field position. They take over. They trail by 5. We'll give you a look at the AFC East. Miami takes on Indianapolis later. They're on top with a record of 9-5. New England 8-6, leading the Bills 31-17. That would do it for Buffalo if they can't come back. And then the Jets, they trail 14-6 to San Diego. And if the Chargers can win that one, the third time will be a charm as they try to wrap up the AFC West. A flag on the play as Cobb gets the handoff. A pickup of 5, but a flag on the play. Gary Lane. And a hold against Green Bay.
Holding offense, number 76. Half the distance penalty to the goal line, still first down.
Joe, the Packers talked about patience in their offense, but they're actually doing it. They're coming out, they're running the ball, they're keeping the short underneath passes. That's patience. They're perfectly willing to work down the field and play ball control, even in a tight 5-point game.
That was the 6th penalty of the day against the Packers. Bennett over the middle. First down to the 25-yard line. Green Bay on the move, and there's action in Chicago. Time for a McDonald's game break. Here's James Brown.
And Joe, in Chicago, the Bears are trying to capitalize on mistakes. Take a look at Todd Kinchin. Punt return for the Rams. Mo Douglas knocks it loose. 5th fumble of the season for Kinchin. The Bears, it leads to a field goal by Kevin Butler. Bears on top by 10. Back to Milwaukee, Joe and Tim.
Thanks, James Brown. That was a 19-yard pickup on the pass to Bennett.
No.
He's had 6 catches for 100 yards. Not much this time. A pickup of only 1.
Gathers made the tackle on Bennett.
Jumpy Gathers with the tackle.
And did you notice how when Jumpy Gathers makes a tackle, Joe, it's in the backfield? He is a guy that just fires off the ball, gets into his guy, pushes him backwards, or hits a gap and gets upfield. He'll either make the tackle or miss the tackle in the backfield.
2nd down and 9. Brought down right at the marker. Clay Matthews there trying to strip it. And in the meantime, Chimura carried him right to the first down marker.
Yeah, how about the extra effort by Chimura? Just wrenching his body, pushing himself forward. And Clay Matthews trying to make a big play and strip the ball. But when he goes for the strip, he loses his concentration on the tackle. And that's why the Packers have got the first down right now. You can't fault Clay Matthews. He's a veteran, played for years, Pro Bowl. He knows the way to win games is the big play. So he went for the big play on that, but it was the wrong decision.
There's the tight end, Chimura, playing in place of the injured Ed West. the Packers. Hand off to Bennett. Edgar Bennett across the 40 and a flag on the play. A pickup of 6. Flag came flying in from the secondary.
And once again, more running, more short passes. That's patience on offense.
And heck, Favre's had a big day, Tim. 20 out of 28 for 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Another hold on Green Bay. This will be the 7th penalty marked off against the Pack.
Offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty. Remain first down.
Reggie Johnson, the tight end, guilty. One side note to the day for Brett Favre. He's gone over the 10,000-yard mark for passing in his career. The 4th-year player from Southern Miss. Faced with a 1st and 20. Ron George, a linebacker, replaces Ken Tippins on the defense for Atlanta. Favre looking for help. Finally brought down Jumpy Gathers. Lester Archambault was there also for Atlanta.
This is one of the most unorthodox defensive maneuvers I've seen. Watch Chris Dolman coming from the right side. He starts the pass rush, gets nowhere, and then drops back into coverage, frustrating the throw that Brett Favre wants to make. Watch him here. He just pulls back, and Favre has nowhere to go.
First sack of the game, and it belongs to Gathers. His 8th of the year. Now 2nd and 26. Favre lost the football, and the Packers were able to fall on top. This drive started out well, but now the Packers are in reverse.
When the ball gets on that mush, it starts to get slippery. Brett Favre loses his handle on it, and look who's there right up the middle of it. Jumpy Gathers. No surprise.
Who saves Favre? His roommate, Frank Winters, is center.
That should be no surprise either, should it?
Probably not the only time he saved him in one fashion or another. 3rd and 31. Big Chuck Smith throws it back into the face of Favre. And it's time for Green Bay to punt.
That play by Chuck Smith shows 2 things. 1, athleticism, being able to stop and leap. 2, smarts, knowing he does not have the time to get to Favre, gathering himself and defending the pass.
Well, what you're seeing are the defensive ends rushing, dropping back to take away that little dump pass. It happened twice on that possession. Once by Dolman, this time by Smith. Now Hendrick punts it away, and a beauty. Verdun from his 45. Goes nowhere as Mike Pryor throws him back. The Atlanta Falcons, however, have great field position. They take over. They trail by 5.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by O'Doul's. It's what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer.
Wintertime in Wisconsin. Last game for the Packers at County Stadium. First down for Atlanta, down 14-9. Half a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Hebert throws incomplete, looking for Rison, and Evans was there step for step.
Evans is doing as nice a job as any cornerback in the league on covering Andre Rison. He's gotten beat only a couple of times. A lot of times he's had Rison man-to-man. We've seen him with an interception, and we've seen him blanketing Rison very effectively.
Hebert today, 13 out of 29 for 149 yards, 1 interception. 2nd down and 10. Over the middle, Hebert hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Ricky Sanders, the intended receiver.
Sanders, the intended receiver.
Our game summary is brought to you by Budweiser. Total yards, Green Bay starting to pull away. Jackie has missed 2 field goals, the latest one of 37 yards. Favre has had a big day. And for the Falcons, Jeff George is out with a broken finger, the little finger on his left hand.
Yeah, when you look at this discrepancy here, Joe, in the yardage, here's the reason why the score is so close. Those 2 missed field goals stifling a good Green Bay offensive drive twice.
3rd and 10. Emmanuel couldn't hang on. He was open. He was coming across the middle. And he could not bring it in. Good throw by Bobby Hebert. Good field position, but nothing comes of it.
And this is why coaches cringe when they have to play a rookie. Because when you need it, sometimes the rookies just come up short. No reason in the world that Bert Emanuel should have dropped that pass.
Bobby Hebert has missed on his last 9 pass attempts. Time for Harold Alexander to punt. Poor punt. Poor punt. He had a chance to pin the Packers back in their own end. They'll end up with decent field position out around their own 30. The Packers have the ball and a lead. The only playoff game ever contested at County Stadium was the 1967 Western Division Championship between the Rams and the Packers. It wasn't even close. Travis Williams rushed for 2 touchdowns, and Green Bay thumped L.A. 28-7. Of course, the Pack went on from there to win a 2nd consecutive Super Bowl championship the next week in the Ice Bowl over Dallas. And the Packers wave goodbye to County Stadium this afternoon, and they'd like to go out with a win. The Atlanta Falcons would love a win to stay alive in the playoff hunt.
When you're running the run and shoot, you got to put a little shoot into it. So far, the Falcons this half blanks.
1st and 10. Favre trying to set up the screen. It's not there. Now he finds Bennett, and they get nothing. Jesse Tuggle there to throw down Bennett, and the screenplay is not working.
I know that the Packers' plan is to play patient football. They've got to stretch the field and go long.
That's the end of our 3rd quarter with the score. Still Green Bay 14, Atlanta 9. We'll return to County Stadium after these words from your local Fox station.
Watching Fox NFL Sunday.
It's the start of the 4th quarter. Joe Buck and Tim Green with you. Come on, me and my shadow. It's a good thing we get along.
Yeah, it's a good thing you can dance because you can't sing that well.
Thank you. 2nd down and 10 for Green Bay. Chamorro, the tight end over the middle, a 1st down pickup. Brett Favre is playing this 2nd half without his favorite target, Sterling Sharp, who is out with a stinger in his neck on a hit he took from Brad Edwards back in the 1st half.
I think, Joe Buck, that the Packers are being conservative with Sterling Sharp. They believe they can win this game without him. If they do need him, if they do lapse behind, I predict that you will see him come back later in this game.
2 tight ends into the game for Green Bay on 1st down. Bennett. Good work by the Falcons to string it out. And Bennett did not find much. He found Kevin Ross. That's who he found.
Shelley made the tackle.
Elbert Shelley there as well for the Falcons.
The Falcons' defense, Joe, has not had problems this season shutting down the run. They're pretty good against the run. The problems that they've had has been mostly with the pass.
2nd and 8.
Kevin Ross, the free safety. Kansas City Chief. He's been a frustrated player in that secondary for Atlanta. Bennett. There's Darnell Walker. good tackle by the second-year player from Oklahoma. 5'8", 164, but he pushed Bennett back. And a minimal pickup.
Yeah, he must have heard what we were saying in the first half, because he really picked it up there. And not only did he bring down a receiver, he brought down a running back. You see this time of possession, the thing that this does is it hurts your defense. It wears the defense down. So you talk about the Falcon defense tending to fade in the fourth quarter. That could be why.
3rd down and 7. Gets out of trouble, but throws behind his intended receiver, Charles Jordan, the intended receiver, and Favre can only do so much back there. Big pass rush by the Falcon front.
You know, a lot of quarterbacks, you put the smack on him like they just did there on Favre, and it might shake him up, it might affect him. You hit Brett Favre in the face, the only thing it does is it makes him play better.
Craig Hendrick back to punt it away for the Packers. Clarence Verdun back standing at his own 20. Poor punt by Hendrick. Verdun on the return. Can't find much room at all. Mike Pryor was there. Tim Houck was there. Mark Williams was there. And the good pressure on Brett Favre ends the drive for Green Bay. And again, the Atlanta defense holds Green Bay in check.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealer, creating a higher standard. By McDonald's, the official restaurant of the National Football League. And by Levi, 100% cotton wrinkle-free Dockers. Pants so soft they shrug off wrinkles.
We'd like to thank young Tim Meadows for letting our cameraman ride on his back down that hill. 3 and outs.
Be a good time for the Packers to turn in a 4th 3 and out.
Well, the Falcons have done nothing offensively in the second half. Hayward, not much. The Falcons in their passing game in the second half, no yards and rushing. 33, 20 of it by Hebert on that scramble.
Yeah, and Sean Jones made that play the way you want to make a play on Ironhead Hayward. He got behind the line and he tackled him by the ankles. You do not want to go up high on Ironhead. The way you get him down is go low, go below the knees.
2nd down and 9. Reggie White checks out of the lineup for Green Bay. They have Jones, Brock, Yurkovich, and Pop on the line. Hayward. Well, you don't have Reggie White in the game, and Hayward picks up a 1st down.
Hayward.
Good decision by the Falcons. When Reggie White leaves the game, run the ball right at the Packers defense. And right in the hole where Reggie White normally is. You see, that's a big space. And if 92's in the game, that space just is not there.
Well, he's still not in the game, and you have to believe that that elbow is bothering him. That would be the only logical conclusion, because Reggie White never takes a down off. First down for Atlanta. Pass complete, and then a big hit by Corey Harris. Corey Harris stuck Terrence Mathis and planted him in the county stadium grass.
Well, for anybody at home who's had thoughts of playing wide receiver in the NFL and think that it's an easy job and all you have to do is run around and catch the ball, here's what makes it so tough. You catch the ball, you take the punishment, and the great ones hang on.
Mathis will check out. He'll try to get his senses back. Darrell Spencer, a one-year player from Miami, number 84, checks in place of Mathis, and they're dropping all over the place. Reggie White still not on the defensive front for Green Bay. 2nd down and 5. We got action in Chicago. Time for a McDonald's game break. Back to JB.
All right, Joe, the Rams had an apparent touchdown nullified. That set up this field goal. Zendejas barely making it through. It's 2013 in Chicago. 9-10 left in the fourth. Is overtime looming? We'll find out. Take it back to Joe Buck and Tim Green.
Tim Green, we've seen George go down. We've seen Chuck Smith. We've seen Sterling Sharp exit because of injury. The biggest one of the day would be Reggie White if he can't continue. First down for Atlanta. Rolls. They set up a screen for Sanders. George Kuntz brings him down. Says George.
Yeah. That's working when you're an inside linebacker to sift your way through those big offensive linemen. Get behind the protection and bring down the screen. There's the Baker coming in high, taking one low, and look at Kuntz. Breaks through three of them.
That was good for a loss of 7.
Yeah, and see, Hebert hates it because he took the hit. Jurkovic came down on top of him, put him in the turf, and then they got nothing out of it. That makes it hurt twice as bad.
Big play by Kuntz. Hayward, not much. Pop was there, Jones was there, Jurkovic, Simmons. A pickup of only 1.
Yeah, and now Reggie White's coming back in the game, Joe. And I believe that they were spelling Reggie White. I know that his elbow's sore, and that may be the reason why they were spelling him. But they've been rolling their pass defenders on the line all game to keep those guys fresh. When you play the run and shoot, you rush the passer time after time, and it tires everyone out. Smart play by the Packers.
Third down and 16. Hebert throws, completes it to Emmanuel. Good for a first down inside the 35.
First down.
Terrell Buckley beaten on the play.
Well, Richards puts the clamps on Reggie White, almost goes for a ride, and then Ironhead is there to help save him and back him up. 2 guys on the big guy, and then Buckley again being exploited for poor coverage.
It was 3rd and 16, and the Falcons got 23. Now on first down, it's Hayward. Brought down from behind by Sean Jones.
Yeah, and Reggie White right there closing the gap and making the stop. You don't run at number 92, even when he's hurt. Gets into Zandowski, sends him one way, comes back the other, and Sean Jones helps out.
George Kuntz, a linebacker, checks out. Mike Pryor, an extra defensive back, checks in on second down and 7. Hayward still in the backfield. We've seen nothing of Eric Pegram here today. Hebert to throw. Rison. Andre Rison out of bounds inside the 5.
Rison on the completion.
Evans missed the tackle. Butler forced him out of bounds, and it's 1st and goal, and Rison makes a friend on the sideline.
Yeah, it must be a Falcon photographer, but that's what the Falcons have to do. When you need it most, you go to number 80. Sure, Evans is there, and Evans even had him covered. Then Butler's there to help out, but Rison can still make a big play, even in double coverage.
First catch of the second half for Rison. 1st and goal from the 5. Rison again, almost intercepted by Evans. Almost his 2nd of the day. He just couldn't hang on. That would have been huge.
If the Atlanta Falcons score a touchdown on this series, Doug Evans will replay this moment over and over in his mind 1,000,000 times before tomorrow morning when he has to see it again on film. The ball is in his hands, and that is one that he just cannot forget.
11th play of the drive coming up, 2nd and goal. Falcons trailing by 5. Touchdown, Mathis. And the Falcons take a lead.
Credit.
And now they're going to try for 2 as Hebert stays on the field.
And credit the Falcons offensive line, because Hebert had the time, and we've been saying all afternoon that if Hebert has the extra second, he will find the open receiver.
Good time for the Falcons to have their first lead of the day. 5:53 left in the 4th quarter. Atlanta will try for 2 to make it a 3-point game. An extra point here, had they tried it, would have been pointless. It would have made it a 2-point game. A successful 2-point conversion would make it a 3-point lead. So really you risk nothing. Best case scenario for the Falcons, they come away with a 3-point lead. But the extra point would have been meaningless. The Falcons are 0 for 1 on 2-point conversions today. 2 for 3 on the year. And they've tended to go to Mathis on 2-point conversions. This time it's Rison. And the Falcons lead by 3. Andre Rison makes good on the 2-point conversion. Before that, it was Mathis into the end zone, and the Atlanta Falcons lead it 17-14. 5:53 left to play in Milwaukee. The Atlanta Falcons have a 3-point lead, and Scott Tyner to kick it away. Robert Brooks, a dangerous return man, is back deep. A high kick, a short kick, and on the run it's Harris. He takes it out to the 40. So great field position for Green Bay. They now trail by 3.
And Joe, with a 2-point conversion, critical tactical mistake. Reggie White on the outside. He needs to be inside, getting into Hebert's face.
He didn't get there.
No pressure. Hebert has time. Reggie White's out of the play.
A battle between June Jones on your left, Mike Holmgren on your right. The winner stays alive in the playoff hunt. The loser starts thinking about next season. Packers trailing for the first time today. They trail by 3. Favre throws. He underthrew Mickens. Good coverage by DJ Johnson. Terry Mickens, the intended receiver, and there's DJ.
Well, I was absolutely wrong about Sterling Sharp, Joe, because if he could play, now is when he would play.
So that stinger that he suffered in the first half, a bit more serious than a normal stinger. He's in the locker room, we get word. So not available to Brett Favre. 2nd down and 10. Favre has to run. He doesn't get much, and he's brought down by Jumpy Gathers. What a season he's had for Atlanta.
Yeah, and what a game he's had, Joe. We've seen him in the backfield making tackles on the run play. We've seen him with the quarterback sack. Always a factor in the pass rush, pressuring Brett Favre, and he's even got a little grass in his helmet. You know a guy's playing hard when you got to pull the turf out of his helmet. He's throwing his body around the field.
A pickup of 3 by Favre as he was brought down by Gathers. 3rd down and 7. Favre over the middle, incomplete. Good coverage by Case Morgan, the intended receiver, in time for the Packers to punt.
Well, if ever Brett Favre needed to use a pump fake, it was on that play to draw Scott Case away. Brett goes right to the receiver, and Scott Case has been around the league too long, 11 years, to make a mistake like that. There's where the pump fake was a must.
Now Hendrick to punt it away for Green Bay with Verdan back deep. Good punt by Hendrick. Booming punt. Will it stop short? Into the end zone. Houck gave a heck of an effort, but Hendrick's punt, 57 yards, sails into the end zone. Now Atlanta has the ball, and if Green Bay has any hope to the playoffs, it's up to the defense.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Miller Lite. You can expect great things from the great taste that's never watered down.
Now that looks like a lot of fun, but not near the fun we're having here at County Stadium in Milwaukee. It's up to the Packer defense to give their offense another chance. The Falcons lead by 3, and they have the ball with 4:41 left. Sean Jones came down from the end to make the stop. Hayward picked up 4.
Well, this is a time when you think that the Falcons will just run out the ball, but they have the run and shoot offense. 4 wide receivers, only 1 running back, and they can't afford to just run out the ball. They don't have a consistent 2-back ground game with a lead blocker and a runner. They will have to continue to mix it up because that's what this offense is built upon. Passing first, running second.
Second down and 6. And they go to the air. Hebert throws. Incomplete. Great coverage by Evans. He was up the back of Rison, and the Falcons are pleading their case.
You know, when you can battle Andre Rison, and as Doug Evans has all day, and go one-on-one with him and win as many as you lose, you are having a heck of a day.
6 defensive backs check into the game for Green Bay. 3rd down and 6. Over the middle, it's Sanders. And a first down for Atlanta.
Yeah, that's all the Falcons' offensive line and Craig Ironhead Hayward. The Packers sent a bunch. The line picks them all up, and you can't cover that guy streaking across the front, the middle of the zone when you're man-to-man coverage, and the quarterback has time.
3:20 and counting. Green Bay has 2 timeouts remaining. Big set of downs here for Atlanta. Hayward. Good tackle by Evans and Kuntz.
Well, there's another way to bring down Ironhead, Joe. Send one guy low to trip him up and one guy high to make sure that he stays down. Evans is the low guy. Kuntz is the high guy.
20 carries today for Hayward for 71 yards.
You know, that's just how you knock down a building. You know, you set a charge down low at the foundation, and then you set a charge about midway up to make sure it collapses.
2nd down and 10. Again. Jones got the first hit. Kuntz cleaned up, but Hayward bowled forward for 5 yards. And now Green Bay will spend a timeout.
Green Bay, that is her second charge.
The 2-minute warning coming up in 11 seconds. And then only 1 timeout remaining for the Packers. Atlanta leading by 3. They have the ball. 2:10 remaining. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the written consent of the Green Bay Packers and the National Football League is prohibited. Saturday at noon Eastern, spend the day before Christmas with the #1 pregame show on television. Join Terry, Howie, Jimmy, and James as they give you the latest inside scoop on the wild NFL playoff picture. Then playoff hopes are back on the line. You see the slate of games. Will Green Bay be hoping for a playoff spot? A big 3rd and 4 facing the Falcons. Hebert throws, incomplete, out of the reach of Andre Rison. Doug Evans there again, and he has been challenged time and time again today and all season, and Doug Evans came up with a good one there.
Yeah, and there is one of the classical weaknesses of the run-and-shoot offense, Joe Buck, because the run-and-shoot requires not only that the quarterback make the correct decision, but that each of the 4 receivers make the correct decision, and there was a miscue on that play there.
Harold Alexander back to punt. Robert Brooks, a very good return man deep for Green Bay. Low snap, handled, poor punt again. Brooks on the run from his 30. Finds Ron George and then takes a seat. 32-yard punt, just a 2-yard return. And the Packers have the ball at their own 33. And they have one more chance. It's up to Favre and the Pack to stay alive for the playoffs.
At the end of the game, Joe Buck and I will select the Miller Lite player of the game. You're looking at a possible candidate right there, Jumpy Gathers. He's had a big day against the run, against the pass. But of course, if the Packers can pull it out, Joe Buck, it could be Evans, could be Favre, could be Bennett.
Well, we're going to find our man, it looks like, in the last minute 58. First down from their own 33. Favre over the middle. The tight end is all alone. That's Chamura. He's brought down at the 42, a pickup of 26.
Joe, all day the Packers have been attacking the Falcons outside in the pass game against the corners. But every play, they run Chamura or a running back down the seam.
He had another chance, couldn't hang on. Got the hit from Case. The throw was a little high.
You know, it's as if Mike Holmgren has lulled the Falcons defense to sleep by attacking the outside in the passing game. And now when they need it most, they go to Chamura in the seam. Not only once, but twice.
Here's a spot where the Packers really missed their starting tight end, Ed West. 2nd down and 10. Favre to the sideline, hits Brooks. He's inside the 40, brought down at the 39, a pickup of only 4. The clock's still running.
3rd and 6.
And a 3rd down and 6. Favre guns it in. Robert Brooks with a big catch. Oh, what a catch. That was a rocket. And Brooks pulled it in, stretched out on the sideline.
Well, when you get used to catching that speed ball all season long, it never pays off any better than it does in the 15th game of the season when the playoffs are on the line.
Jackie getting ready, but Favre has loftier thoughts. The Packers down by 3. To the sideline, incomplete. And Bennett was wise to let it go by.
Yeah, and Favre was wise to make that safe throw. The thing that Brett Favre cannot do now more than anything is rush it and force a turnover.
Tim, a final in from Chicago. The Bears over the Los Angeles Rams. So now you have Detroit, Minnesota, and Chicago all with records of 9 and 6. Green Bay trying to stay alive, trying to move to 8 and 7. They're already within field goal range for Jackie, who has missed 2 today. Quick one to the sideline, caught by Morgan. The clock continues to run. 1 timeout remaining for Green Bay. And a 3rd down and 6 facing Green Bay. Over the middle, Brooks lowers his head and got a first down. Will spike the ball, and the Packers will shoot for the end zone.
What a tremendous effort by Robert Brooks. And lay his body out to secure the first down.
He made a big catch on the sideline earlier. Now one over the middle where he picked up the first down, and Green Bay will shoot for the end zone. 28 seconds left. 1 timeout. Down by 3.
And this is absolutely where Brett Favre is at his best.
Favre steps up. Shamura inside the 10. And the Green Bay Packers will spend their final timeout. 21 seconds left. Green Bay on the move. Down by 3. And for those of you just joining us, Jeff George left in the first quarter with a broken little finger on his left hand. Bobby Hebert has brought the Atlanta Falcons to a 3-point lead. But now with 1 timeout remaining, the Green Bay Packers have moved the ball down the field. They're left with a 3rd and short inside the 10. No timeouts. They need a win to stay alive in the playoff chase. The biggest play of the game came a moment ago as Brett Favre needed to complete a pass for a first down. He found Brooks over the middle. He lowers his head. He just gets enough for a fresh set of downs. One other note to point out. The Packers have moved the ball down the field and played the entire second half without Sterling Sharp, who left with a stinger in his neck at the end of the first half. 3rd down and 2. Favre to throw. Brett Favre. Touchdown, Green Bay. To leave Milwaukee. The last ever game here at County Stadium, and they're on their feet in a salute to Brett Favre. Now the extra points, which would make it a 4-point lead. Only 14 seconds remain. The Packers lead by 4. They needed this game, Tim, and they're going to get it.
And this is exactly when Brett Favre is at his best. Looking for the receiver, doesn't find it, takes it into his own hands, goes up high. He knows how to find the end zone as well as any quarterback in the NFL. This is a thing of beauty. This is a thing that Bart Starr would have been proud of. This is a thing that Vince Lombardi dreamed of, a player like Brett Favre.
He didn't make it to the Pro Bowl. He's an alternate. He couldn't care less. This is what it's all about. The Packers need this game to stay alive for the playoffs, and they got it on that play by Favre. Now only 14 seconds remain.
And look at him just pile up on Favre. Heck, I wish I could get down there and jump on the pile as well. You got to love a guy like Favre to give that kind of an effort when the whole game is on the line.
Run it in. He was 6 of 9 on that final drive, covering 58 yards.
And Joe Buck, when the weather turns cold, don't forget Brett Favre wins games. Cold weather games, 9-1. Today, make it 10-1.
14 seconds left. Jackie with a squib kick. Verdun on the return. Trying to get out of bounds. Doesn't matter. The clock will stop. He stopped shy of the 30, and only 9 seconds remain. And you're looking at our Miller Lite player of the game, Brett Favre.
Absolutely. We said we'd find it in the last 2 minutes. There is no doubt.
A 9-yard touchdown run. The Packers lead by 4, and the Falcons, totally deflated, take over just shy of their own 30. Only 9 seconds left.
Joe Buck, this has been the kind of season that the Atlanta Falcons have had. They've played tough. They've played hard. But then in the critical moments, they've broken down, or someone has just beaten them, taken advantage of them, as Brett Favre did here today.
Nine seconds remaining. Last chances for Atlanta. Bear to the sideline, caught outside the 40, and now 3 seconds remain. And we'll have one more snap, and that'll be it. So one chance for Atlanta to get down the field, and that extra point means they need to get into the end zone. And because of arm strength, the Atlanta Falcons will call a timeout. Bobby Hebert will check out, and we'll get a look at Perry Klein, a rookie from CW Post, who will come in and heave the ball down the field because he has a stronger arm than Bobby Hebert.
Right, well, Bobby Hebert used to have one of the stronger arms in the league, but he injured his elbow a couple of years ago, and he has struggled with that injury since. He's had surgery, and that has cut down on the distance that he can throw the football. You know, I know we're excited. We're naming Brett Favre as player of the game, but I played for this team, the Falcons, and I've seen this team and been a part of it when we've actually won a game with one of these Hail Mary passes.
One other note to point out about the Atlanta Falcons. Their last 15 games have had a fourth quarter lead in 11 of them. And if they don't pull it out here, they will slip to 6-9 and out of the playoff race. One last chance for Klein and the Falcons. 3 wide receivers to the right. The defensive backs for Green Bay all move back down the field. Klein throws it. Strong arm. 21-17. Say goodbye to the city of Milwaukee with one of the most thrilling games of the season. Final score, Green Bay 21, Atlanta 17. A reminder to stay tuned for the NASDAQ stock market post-game report coming up next. For Tim Green, I'm Joe Buck, saying goodbye from Milwaukee and to Milwaukee, where a 61-year relationship comes to a close between the Packers and this great city. They've played their final game in County Stadium. So long to Milwaukee from the Packers. This has been a Fox Sports presentation.